Mandela once said, "A leader is like a shepherd. He stays behind the flock, letting the most nimble go ahead, whereupon the others follow, not realizing that all along they are being directed from behind." To me, this quote gets to the essence of what it takes to be a servant leader. So what is servant leadership, you may ask? In its simplest terms, a servant leader is an individual that puts the needs of others above theirs and helps them through their walk of life and helps them perform as highly as possible. Abraham Lincoln, Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. Martin Luther King are all names of servant leaders. Servant leadership is you don't have to abolish slavery or bring down race barriers or even free a country to be a servant leader. You just simply have to put the needs of others before yours and assist people in their walk of life. As a matter of fact, I know a great servant leader. My dad named Tim Horth. A year ago, I started intern at my dad's company and I got to see servant leadership in action for one of the first times. I noticed my dad's servant leadership tendencies when I sat in on one of his staff meetings that he was conducting. He made sure not to sit at the head of the table. He told me prior to the meeting that he never sits at the front of the table because he considers that the power seat, and he doesn't want people to think that he sees himself as more powerful than others. He wants everyone to feel like they're on equal playing field, so he made sure to sit in the middle with all of the staff members, and I really think that this fostered a sense of community and also fostered a sense of trust and safety. There were people in that staff meeting that had different opinions, but as we know that diverse opinions leads to collaboration. And I really think by simply my dad asserting himself as part of the team, that he's just like everyone else, he's not more important or less important, that it fostered all of that creativity and such during that staff meeting. So this is one example of servant leadership, by needs of others and putting yourself on the same playing field of others. My dad exhibit servant leadership qualities by not just being focused on work. So I should preface that my dad works in the construction industry, and he noticed that a lot of the construction workers on his team weren't necessarily the healthiest, so he wanted to do something about this. So recently he implemented a free seminar that happens once a week that centers around a holistic approach to wellness and health. So my dad saw a need. He saw that some of his staff members were declining, he thought, in the health department, and he wanted to fix that. So a servant leader goes beyond the job and doesn't just focus on the work at hand. So my dad just didn't focus on the construction and the profit and such to that nature. He saw that these were people, these are people he cares about, and he saw that there was a need to educate them on health and wellness. So he implemented that, and as you can guess, I would say that it has been a great program. Many people go to these seminars and are constantly learning about ways to improve their health and such. Also great at looking at the company as a huge group of diverse members and not just individual people. My dad makes sure to use the word we and not necessarily you or me. Little semantics like this can really change a person's outlook. It allows individuals to know that they are not alone. My dad has always said that when one individual succeeds in the company, the whole company succeeds. And when one individual fails, the whole company fails together. But failure isn't as horrible when you have a whole company backing you up and everyone's in it together. It's easier to get through those fails when you have someone right next to you working with you together. I think that having this outlook gives a sense of community and provides a happy workplace. My dad acts with humility, which I think is a big aspect of servant leadership. My dad may carry the title of president at his company, but he always tries to set himself on an equal playing field. He sees himself just as important as the janitor or the vice president. They're all at the same field in his eyes. So I think this ideology allows him to see other people's perspectives easily. I can remember one Friday afternoon when I was working, my dad was going around the offices asking people if they had trash that they wanted him to collect to throw away in the dumpster. I think this is a really, really cool act. It's a small act, but it really showed his staff members that he's not below any job or above any job or such. And I think this really fosters a sense of community once again. People feel that they can come to him with problems and such, that they can come to him with questions or concerns. And that's because he makes himself approachable to the people. See, servant leadership is a pretty amazing concept. Servant leaders are able to foster a community of collaboration and trust and diversity and such. I hope that all of you one day have the opportunity to work for a servant leader and also to be a servant leader to someone else someday. I think the world would be a much better and happier place if we all got the chance to be around servant leaders.